Okay,
Okay.
here we go. Hi everybody, Mick Lebinskas here. I'm with Samantha Wessels here. She is based in Surrey in the United Kingdom, and a wonderful introduction from my brother Ryan, who works at the same company. So hi Samantha, how are you doing?
Hi. Thank you for having me. Look forward to chatting to you.
Yeah, you too. And we just start by, can you tell us what your role is in the company that you work for?
So I work for a company called Elastic. They're a search engine looking at big data analytics. Open source company. Just recently joined them about 3 months ago. And I'm currently the VP of EMEA, looking after sales for Elastic all over Europe, Middle East, and Africa.
Wow. And I'd love to, again, the goal of this for around the book, She's Building a Robot, is to tell different journeys of women in technology. Can you tell us about your first role in a technology company and
Yes.
how that came about, and how did it feel to have you to be working with a tech product?
Yes, absolutely. Well, my career actually started in marketing. So I studied communications and went into a marketing role. And the company that I was working for at the time, which was a large retailer in South Africa, we were building a loyalty program for them. So we all know various loyalty programs, whether that's British Airlines or American Airlines, whatever it may be. But loyalty programs really are trying to often get a 360 view of the customer. So you want the customer to have one view of you, being a bank or an airline or a retailer, but you also want to have that 360 view of a customer. And from a marketing perspective, I soon realized that I was in my career and having such a strong sense for doing what's right and offering that customer experience and gaining that customer insight. I very quickly realized, it took me about 6 years to be honest, that without technology, this could never be enabled.
Right.
And my first role as a salesperson, in actual fact, was with Siebel Systems, which is really a CRM application.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked me if I would come and join them, only because I had very good insight into what CRM is from a business perspective and the role of the customer and why delivering customer insight and customer experience is so important. And I'm talking about 20 years ago.
Mm.
But what I didn't have to my name was how technology would enable CRM.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I decided to join Siebel Systems at the time through a reseller in South Africa, which was very exciting. I mean, my first year was a steep learning curve, selling software and licenses, selling to quite a different audience. I not only did I embrace technology, but my career changed. So my career changed from marketing to selling technology. So, it was an exciting move at the time. I'm very passionate about technology. I was passionate about what I was selling. And from there, for the last 20 years, I've sold everything from contact centers to data centers to the network to now search engines. So I'm very excited to have had a career and feel very privileged to have a career in technology. And I think now with what's happening in the world in terms of how, industries are being disruptive, if you look at what Netflix has done, or Uber for that matter, the whole world is moving to AI or big data or analytics or technology. And I just think for any young person, and I have a 12-year-old daughter, to be relevant in the future, you're going to have a good handle on technology. You not necessarily need to code, but there are so many wonderful careers in technology, that women need to think of, and not to be frightened of the word technology per se.
Yep.
I would say that a lot of the young generation today are more affair with technology than maybe I was when I was growing up. We didn't have cell phones and laptops at our disposal, etc. Yep. So very excited to be part of this and to help as many women come into sales in technology as possible.
And sales sits between customers and the technology. Can you tell us a bit about how that back and forth goes? So obviously that you can't just make a product which doesn't make a customer happy. and you've also got to work with the customers to find products that are going to work for them. How does that feel to be sitting between such fast changing technology and high demanding customers?
Well, that's the value that a good salesperson can add.
Mm.
And that's why I often think, women make such good salespeople, because, it's bringing together two completely different businesses to try and find value. So you need to understand what the client's business strategy is. You need to understand potentially the vertical that they're in. You need to understand the pain and the business drivers, not only of the organization, but that individual. And nowadays, in any decision-making process, you often have 5 or 6 different people or a committee making a decision on a piece of technology. And each one of those people have their own buying criteria and reasons for and requirements for the software or the hardware or whatever they may be buying.
Yeah.
And on the sales side, you've got to listen to that customer. You've got to understand and be very curious about why they need that technology. But then you need to sell the benefits and the value, not only that your software will bring to them, but to their business. So what is the business outcome that they'll receive from buying your piece of technology? So often, being a salesperson, the influence you have, and not on individuals and on the business and their strategic direction is profound. And that's why I think sales is such a wonderful profession, and more importantly in technology, because I really believe that with every deal, if you do it correctly and if you always have the customer in mind, you really are delivering value for the end customer and making a difference.
Wow, excellent. That's really good to know. What got you excited about Elastic as a technology?
Oh, Elastic, they're a fantastic organization. There were a couple of things. So first of all, it's open source. They've already had 350 million downloads. It's ubiquitous. It's built into most applications, whether that's Netflix or Uber or most of the majority of the banks out there. With the explosion of what's happening with Internet of Things and big data, everybody's going to be searching for insight in terms of how do they manage their environment better, how do they manage their marketing programs in an improved way. And Elasticsearch enables them to get that data and then derive value from it. So okay. I just think you got to go where the puck's going, and I believe with what Elastic's doing from a search perspective, it's going to be a front runner in technology, and it really is going to make a difference to so many customers. But it's not only about the technology; it's also about the people and the culture that becomes important. And my message, a lot of young ladies coming out of university, is make sure that when you're going through those interviews with your different companies, make sure that it feels good for you, that you buy into the technology. Not only the technology, you buy into the values of the company, which is as important as the technology that you're selling.
Fantastic. That's really good to know. You mentioned in terms of people there, obviously within a big company, you have to interact with a lot of other parts. Can you tell me what are the major, do you interact with the product group, with the customer success group, with the design? What other types of tech people do you interact with on a monthly basis?
Yes, so on a month, it's all functional areas. So I personally don't have too much to do with directly into engineering, although I know a lot of the engineers. Mm-hmm. So we give a lot of input and feedback into product management. We work with product marketing. We work with the enablement teams, because it's very important that all the salespeople who, whether both new and existing salespeople, get an understanding of the technology. So there's a lot of work with the enablement teams. We work very closely with sales operations, and they really give us all the data we need to know around the territory or the sales numbers and the quotas, the targets the salespeople have to go after. We work very closely with, I work very closely with HR. So, finding talent is very important. So making sure that we have a diverse list of candidates, making sure that we have a diverse panel who's doing the interviewing. Work very closely with consulting, because we often sell consulting. Work very closely with the support teams. These are the people that, if there's a problem with the technology, you can log a call, and they'll help the customer fix that problem. So the customer success management, they're there to help our customers adopt the technology and make sure that they renew their subscriptions with us. So, sales is such a wonderful career for people, because you work in so many diverse people, different functional areas, and you get a very good understanding of what's going on within a business.
Okay.
Or you driving the revenue at the end of the day. So sales is a function.
Paying the bills, that's right. So, and quick advice, any teenage girls who sort of are excited about technology, but maybe they love interacting with people and maybe excited about a career in sales. Is there something they could do as a teenage to think about it, or to get started, or I don't know, internships or something? Is there a way to get started?
Well, we are seeing a lot of apprenticeship programs going on at the moment, specifically in the UK. I would say that they need to, when they do their in-work experience, because I know a lot of teenagers have to do some work experience. I would say to go and shadow and spend some time in the sales environment. But more importantly, I mean, just do some research on what is sales. Sales is not selling pencils and pens or stationery. It's very strategic. You've got to learn how to facilitate. You've got to learn how to negotiate. You've got to learn how to ask questions. You've got to be curious. You've got to understand and work through a political landscape. You've got to be a strategic thinker. There's so many different facets to sales that, to become a master at sales takes years and years and years of practice. And we're looking for women in sales, and specifically in technology. So, if any one of them would like to contact me, or any other female sales leaders out there, I can tell you we are all there to help them and to get them into sales and technology. It's been a wonderful career, and in actual fact, I meet so many women that come into marketing or come into sales enablement or sales operations or project management, and they often say, "Sure, I wish I could have gone into sales." And sales is just not something that people think of. But I do feel passionate about it, and I do think it's a profession that is made and for women, because I think we've got a lot of the skills and the attributes to be very successful. So it would be wonderful to have more women in sales, in technology.
Well, that's great. And thank you so much for offering both your story, but also the chance to help. I think that really does give not only just a role model, but a connection point to young women who are excited about different parts of technology, and to know that there are different ways they can participate. So on behalf of the crew at shesbuildingarobot.com and from myself, please, thank you so much for your time and sharing your story. And really wonderful for my very supportive younger brother, Ryan, who loves working at Elastic, constantly raving about how much he enjoys that. And so please, I hope you continue to enjoy your time in tech and in sales and in the world of Elastic. And hopefully next time you get to Silicon Valley, we can grab an American hamburger, or I won't say a good Australian cup of coffee, but some caffeine at least. So thank you.
Thank you. I look forward to meeting you.
Thanks, Samantha. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.